It's 6 o'clock, so I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. If we could get roll call, please.
Sim Katra, David Markovitz,
Here.
John Midlick, Viraj Sharma,
Here.
Valerie Wales.
Here.
All right, thank you.
Coming.
Mr. Midlick is not sure, Mr. Katra.
Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. No, I just noticed he's absent.
Yeah, I just didn't know if they
frequently, so I
let
kinda
anyone
figured.
know or if they were just
Yeah,
didn't show. Okay, thank you.
okay. All right, next up is public participation. If we have anybody here tonight that's not related directly to a case on the agenda that wants to address the board with any comments, questions, concerns? Nope. All right, so we'll go on to our first case. The first case tonight is case 24-01-01. It's at 9224 Darrow Road, units N, 0, and P, or O and P, excuse me, smoke outlet signage. So if you could come up to the podium, give us your name, and then give us an explanation of what you're doing.
All right, so my name is Kevin. Last name is Patel. So I'm trying to open up smoke shop over there, and we are trying to put this sign of the business. And
Okay. One of the things that kind of jumped out at me with the signage was one was if it was within the required square footage of signage that's allowed, and the other thing is the from the sign program that we just recently approved for their for that center, it talks about having the name of the store and then a subline that could be underneath it, but not another whole length of sign off to the side. I don't. That's my questions about the e-cigs, tobacco, pipes, and cigars being strung out across the entire storefront. And so, have y'all looked at the sign program to make sure you're complying with it? What?
So they came in and met with Keith. It was Keith, the property owner, Melania, Kevin did, and his sign contractor. And this was what was agreed upon instead of what they originally submitted. This was what Melania felt was closest to her sign program and fit with the rest of the plaza.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't agree with that statement.
You don't agree with that statement? You feel like I do?
It was closest to the sign program, or
Well,
it follows the sign program?
It follows.
Okay,
'Cause
as long as
she allowed it because there is two separate rows, but because his unit space is so wide, she allowed it to run across. And also, where it says smoke outlet, originally they had it off-centered. Her requirement was to center it.
Over the door.
Over the door.
Okay.
And she signed off on this?
Yes.
Okay.
Is your red a different color red than the others on the sign?
no, so we try to match with the neighbors.
Okay, so that's just on print it looks different. Okay.
David, can we take it separately, each sign? Because I'm fine with the main sign and the monument sign, but that e-cigs, tobacco, pipe, cigars, that's a no for me.
Oh, you want
Make
to
sure
look
you
at the
talk on the
monument
microphone
sign
so they can
separately?
hear
I'll
you.
just have a discussion.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about having the monument signs separately from the wall sign, or?
I would say all three signs, so like the e-cigs, tobacco, pipes, and cigars, keep that separate, smoke outlet separate, and the monument sign separate. There's three signs you're requesting, right?
Yeah, so one is going to be on the monument, and one is going to be the
smoke outlet,
smoke outlet, and
e-cigs, tobacco.
so that's how it's going to be, yeah.
So this So spread up into 3 different sections and see how it goes?
I don't know if we've ever done that before, but, I mean, if we don't have, nobody has any objections to it, I guess we could.
Well, if
Oh, that's a suggestion, I mean.
Keith has approved it and said it's okay, and the owner says it's okay,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like we have to go along with that. Maybe we don't have to. What are you?
Well, I don't think we
Raj?
necessarily have to go along
I'm
with
looking at
that.
uniformity across the plaza and, like, you know, having it big E6 tobacco pipe cigars, like, laid across. It just doesn't feel, you know, smoke outlet is fine, but like having all that extra on the side, I get to have the frontage to report that. It's a big unit, but
Would you have it?
I just won't have it all the way.
You wouldn't have it at all?
I know. The smoke outlet is just good enough for me. Maybe something underneath it, perhaps, but
Yeah, I mean, they could shrink that down in size and put that as a second line underneath it.
Yeah.
Would-
I mean, just
I mean,
no
'cause-
other tenant has it. Yes. The property shape is unique too. I mean, we can take it for the vote and see how it goes, but being 3 people, it's going to be a toughie. I know
Yeah.
which way it's going to go.
And both of those were intended to be lit, the E6 tobacco pipes, and cigars was going to be a lit sign too, I mean, a lighted sign.
Yeah, those are going to be light sign too, because that's going to be a smoke shop.
I think if you did that, if you took that down, it would look like empty storefront.
Yeah, because it's a huge space from the front if you see from
Yeah.
the road.
Now, how are you handling these inside? Is it one story inside, or is that?
So it's a one store inside, but if you go inside, it's like a all 3 unit. So as soon as you enter, we have a 3 door. One is enter, one is exit, and just one on the right side is for the show. It's locked. People can see it from outside, but they can't enter or exit from that door. So we have like huge space, and that's
Yeah.
how we did that.
Okay.
And that's how I like decorate from inside as well.
Is there any sign right now up there, or is it
Just a temporary sign that I have, that I got approval so far. I'm trying to get him 6 months maybe.
Yeah, roughly about that.
Yeah, and it's just getting delayed, always for something, yeah.
But the main door is under where it says smoke outlet. That's the main door.
The main door is going to be where it's sign start. So that's the main door, and where it's going to be a smoke outlet, that's the door for the show.
That's
To the
what they-
people, that's why, we're trying to put the
Okay,
sign
for-
over there before, we had a logo, but
Saying it's
if we
okay.
put the logo, then it will look too small from the road, nobody can see the logo,
So-
so we just removed that.
This is not where people will go in?
No, that's left side. That the one you just showed me.
Yeah.
It was a block from inside.
Right.
So we opened it because the door was there from beginning.
But if I were walking up to this, I would head to this door first to go in.
Right. Right now we can open that door and make an entrance and exit, but we did not bother because that's how it was before.
Okay.
So we use it the right side entry and exit for the customers.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the
Which one is
main
it again?
door.
Which one is your main
I'm getting
entry?
confused.
This is the main
One on the
door.
left?
Yeah.
It's the left side, that,
Yeah, and this is where,
okay.
I mean,
That's not the main.
right, this looks like it should be the main
This is
entrance.
the main entrance right here.
That's the main entrance.
It
Yeah.
seems like the name should go here, like it's backwards almost anyways, too, right?
And I think the name goes here because of the
Because of the
architecture of the
The texture of the look.
roof line.
Yeah,
That's
because
not
it's like
really,
pretty big, and you're gonna see the big the sign in the middle. So we were trying to put the logo on that
yeah.
square, but according to the size, they say that it's kind of big. So we removed that, and then that's what we come up with.
And the word smoke outlet is the same size as all the other storefronts? Yes?
Because y'all are right next to the
That
liquor
word
store,
store,
right?
So we are right next to that.
Is it the same size as all the other storefronts?
I don't know the exact measurement of all the other storefronts, but it
I just
seems
know it
like
has
it
to,
is.
but it meets the regulations of what she,
Yes.
the first
yes,
time, that
Yes.
sign is within those guidelines.
Yes.
That's, all right.
So other
Well,
thing I noticed-
in the program, it's got a maximum height of 24 inches for the letters for all of them out there. And
That's less than that.
I don't know if that's what everybody is, but that's what has been
Yeah.
approved on the sign program. I think most of them probably are 24 inches, but
They,
there might be some smaller.
I see, they have a bigger sign than what I have too.
Other ones
And
do.
that- Yeah.
These letters are all exactly the full 2 feet.
Other thing I noticed is a monument sign, basically every single tenant is white background and red letters. And the proposed sign, it's red letters and white background, or a red
Well, there's
background.
option one, though.
Yeah.
is-
Which option are you applying for?
Can I see it?
Yeah, okay, come on, kick it this way. So if you notice, everything is white background, red letters.
we're trying to.
You just want to match it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Basically, my sign guy was trying to approve either or.
okay.
So
So
he put both in it,
So
the picture.
I would approve the one with the white background.
Well, that's if you want to break it up. That's up to David if he wants to break it. If you want to take it as an all, we can, or break it up.
Well, I mean, we could
Yeah, I'm
approve it with
not sure if we
option
need to
one
take
for the
3.
monument sign.
That's, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that's,
so,
I mean, I think we're okay with option 1 for the monument sign.
yeah,
We're okay with smoke outlet being above.
right.
The thing is, if we, yeah, it's going to cause some issues. The signage, the other signage on the left, if that's the entrance, and I'm guessing the store is already laid out with that as the main entrance, so you'd have to change your whole interior to flip stuff to make the
So
door
interior,
underneath the.
it's already made as, if they walk in from there, I'm in the middle. If they're walked in from the entrance that we have right now, I'm still on the middle. So where my register at right now, I can see the customer walking from those 2 doors where they're walking right now. But if I change the door, then it's still open space, but now it's going to be like that way instead of this way.
Yeah,
Well, and we're really looking at the sign right now.
yeah.
That would be
Well, I know
a
we're,
recommendation.
yeah.
And on this, the smoke will be in white letters and the outlet in red?
Correct.
Okay.
You take a vote on as submitted and see how it goes.
As submitted with option one for the
Option 1.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
I will move that we approve it as submitted with option one, red letters on white background for the monument sign.
Just submitted.
Okay. Well, I'll second.
There's just 3 of us.
You didn't.
Forgot about that part.
I try to let y'all do most of that, so.
Ms. Wales?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
No.
I flip because I think it'll be okay with the way it is. All right.
Thank you.
That
Thanks.
should be it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's not approved. No, it would need all, since we only have 3 members of the board here, it'd have to go across the board, all 3 members voting yes for it.
What do I have to do now?
You can resubmit your paperwork.
What do I have to change it though?
If you would like to talk with the board, you could on that.
What do I have to change on the sign? Because
So for me, the E6 tobacco pipes and cigar, the whole section is just taking too much space on that. I would have been just fine with smoke outlet.
But like we have a 3 units, so it looks so empty if I just put the smoke outlet, because if you want me to put smoke outlet, big letter, cross of the building.
But then it won't be in uniformity with other tenants.
Yeah, it can't be more than 24 inches in height.
I was trying to like
anyway.
keep it low and stay in that.
Are you able to move the smoke outlet to perhaps the middle? I know it'll be a little off-centered, but at least, no.
I can match, like I can put right next to each other.
I think, given my opinion, given the reality that we're dealing with in the setup of the store, I'd almost rather see it as it is than have that long blank space look like we have an empty storefront there.
That's true.
So that's, I don't love it, but
I guess the question I have is, if you have 3 units, do you have the right to more than one sign? Each unit would technically be allowed to have its own sign. So that's why I'm thinking that if he has 3 units,
I don't know.
why
what
is
the
he not
rule
allowed to have 2 signs? I'm just,
Well, I don't know if they're per unit or per business. Yeah,
right, I don't know that answer, but the owner did.
Maybe get with like your designer and
Yeah,
maybe
the
next time
sign
like submit like
program.
2 or 3 different designs. You
There's
can get
nothing
the
about
creative
that.
with it, and then we can, take it as, you can email us in advance these signs, and we can take a look at it, we can provide some.
So, I mean, I can do that thing, the one you're asking for, but if you don't like something, let me know, I can read of it right now. Because I've been running behind this from like almost 6 to 8 months now.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
email to city, they
get
can
that.
email us, and we can kind of provide our input right away. Usually it doesn't take that long. And then we can submit a few options based on that.
So basically, you want me to just make it smaller than what you're seeing it right now, or?
Personally, I just don't like that whole E6 tobacco pipes and cigars. But there's, that's just my opinion. But there's 2 other board members that are not present here. These votes can go any way. For me, if you have a couple different designs, you can provide us and we can pick the best. I mean, usually we are lenient, we can go up and down a little bit. We're not always rigid, but for me this time, it's just too tacky.
Would you like if he had on 2 locations smoke outlet twice, and then underneath the left one, or that same sign twice? Is that what you're looking for?
No, I just prefer one sign. I'd rather
Okay.
see a blank
How do
wall.
you-
I mean, it's a nice wall. I mean, it's a brick.
If I can interject, if we don't mind, if you want to speak with the board after the meeting so the rest of the people can get their cases
That's
going.
fair.
Is that fair?
Stay a
Okay.
little bit longer, so I have a problem.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to make things clear, before we start the next case to everybody, since we only have 3 members present tonight, it takes all 3 of our votes to pass something, because we're a 5-member board. So we got to have 3 votes to be unanimous, which means that if anything doesn't pass, I know it's another 2-week delay, but in 2 weeks, hopefully with all 5 members here, you might get your proposal passed through. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know, with 2 other votes coming in. Just to let y'all know and anybody else if the situation arises. Yeah. Yeah, that center's always been a tough center too with signage, trying to work things out there. Okay, so I guess we'll go on to our next case, which is case 24-03-17. It's for 10735 to 10755 Ravenna Road, and it's assigned program revisions for that center. Hello.
I'm the owner of the property of the Twinsburg Plaza.
Okay.
Located in the 10735 and 755. So the signage is the agreement. Agreement is the approved in back to 13 years ago. At that time, the most sign has a neon sign. Probably you are familiar with that. But nowadays, nobody uses neon signs. So I want to change the every sign and new sign as LED. So now it's more popular. And also there is the main. There is actually 2 main points on this revision. It's almost same as the previous one. So I made 2 main points. One is I just remove the color restrictions, because at the time the color only allowed is black and white. But nowadays the tenant use different colors. So that's the one point. And second point is the for the anchor tenant, I want to allow the main signage and then small extra signage on their side if the space is available in the sign area. criteria. I don't know I explained clearly or not.
Who is the anchor tenant that you have?
We have 3 anchor tenants. One is the largest one is the Onyx Health Club, and second is the Power Appliance, and third is Paul Mitchell.
Okay.
All right.
Does your property span all the way from Power Appliances to the Dollar General and all the way to the
Correct.
Sassy's
Sassy's.
bar?
Yes,
That's the whole plaza?
yes.
Okay.
It's 2 different addresses, but yes.
But it's span across?
Okay.
All right.
So we're talking about LED signs and removal of color restrictions.
Right.
You're not talking about the size of the signs.
Size of sign is the same as before.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, well, one thing on the size that I noticed it, on the second page, under location and type signs, I think it's, which one? Yeah, it's item 4. That one kind of confused me a little bit, where you're saying the maximum height is 24 inches for letters and 36 inches for the cabinet. So that's meaning the cabinet can be 36, but the letter is only 24 inches inside it. And then it comes out to say that the maximum height for anchor tenants will be governed utilizing 2 criteria. So you're actually allowing anchor tenants to go larger in their signage? Is that?
No. Even though the anchor tenant, there is the if there is section, if you see the 3, there is a frontage area, and it should follow that section 3. So even though the anchor tenant, there is a whole leasing area in frontage times 2, but there is some limitation in the, if there is not anchor tenant, then there is a height limitation and width limitation. But the anchor tenant, as long as they allow their leasing area and follow the section 3, then that is fine.
Okay.
Yeah. That is almost same as the previous one.
Okay. And that's, because I was thinking it said something maximum level pursuant to zoning. Okay. I think I read something into it I wasn't reading now. Okay.
Did you guys get the drift of the section E, the additional signage, the supplementary signs?
Where would the supplementary sign be?
The second page,
Upon each
section E.
entrance of its lease.
At the bottom of the page is what.
Yeah.
Right, so,
Yeah, that is the second page, the additional signage that what I explained to you. The first one, only for the anchor tenant, because the anchor tenant use the large area in the leasing area, so they want to put the main signage on there. But normally they have some kind of trademark, or they want to explain more, so they normally put a small signage on the next size. But the total area should be there, follow the section 3.
Okay. I understand that.
put signs on the door.
And then the only other thing, which is kind of a pet peeve of mine, but under Section D, the operation and maintenance, after the removal of a sign, I would like to recommend or request, at least in my thoughts, I don't know if anybody else thinks the same, but I'm sure they probably do, but that one of the other things that's done when a sign's removed is that all of the holes in the wall are patched and painted to match existing.
Yes.
So that you don't get, because the center right now has a lot of that, where you see a lot of holes sitting there that aren't
sorry about
patched,
that,
and
yeah.
they look bad when they're left sitting like that.
Should be done, yes.
So if that could get added in there.
Oh, sure, yeah,
somehow
sure,
as a-
yes.
So that it actually becomes
Right.
part of a requirement of the sign, so people know that.
Okay.
I have a question about the removal of signs, and it's the the tenant is responsible for the cost of that, but if their lease is over and they're gone and not available to pay for removing their sign, then what?
Yeah. So normally, as a landlord, it is very difficult. When they move out, most of the time, they cannot make money.
Yeah.
That's the case. They just leave the signage, or they remove the signage, but they just
Sure.
lose wire and holes and those things. But in the case, I will take care of that. If I needed put those things, I can put it on here.
Does that need to be written?
We can make a motion with those two things added and
Okay, because what we want is, if they leave, we want
Yeah.
things to be in order.
And hopefully, they understand is as a landlord, actually, this is my first time they're working on the shopping center in this area.
Okay,
But there is very difficult to keep the tenant because, as you know, this is a central area in the Twinsburg. However, the tenant always complain that the less people come into the project. So partially it's my fault, but I'm trying to draw more people in the project. So the tenant will be happy the more people come in. But the thing is, sometimes they really have a trouble to make money in the project. So I'm trying to continuously lower the rent for them. Then I'm trying to, whatever they tell me, I'm trying to satisfy them. So this is, the signage is the one of them.
okay.
Okay.
So, Walter, you want to make a motion with those two items that you mentioned? Or do you have any other things we can discuss?
I don't remember exactly what I said.
Well, I think what we're getting at is that the motion is to approve the sign program as submitted with the following addition under removal of signs area, being one, that all holes and hardware and whatever from existing signs after they're being removed will be patched and filled in, and the surface will be back to like new or as existing. And the second is that the sign will come down at some point, that
I'm sorry?
either the sign will definitely be removed when the tenant, like, I guess kind of what we're trying to
When the
get at
tenant
is
leaves, yeah.
if the tenant jumps out on you, which I know happens at times, and they say, business is gone, I don't care about the sign, I'm gone, and they leave it there, that in a reasonable amount of time, 30 days, 60 days, that in some way or another you will have the sign removed, so that it's not sitting up there with the sign still up there with the tenant.
Yeah,
So,
let's
I don't
put
know.
a timeline on that, like,
Okay. Is there anything in that Twinsburg has in our code about how long a sign can stay up? I know we've talked about this before, because we've seen, what was it, not Trader Joe's, but Gander Mountain sat there for years with the sign still up
signs
there.
still.
I do not know offhand there, but I can look at that and get that together for you.
We just say, like,
Can we just say
Well, we can
45 day, within 45 days of a lease being over, then it would be the landlord's responsibility to do that?
Or
Okay,
you-
Okay.
So only thing is if I include over here, because whenever the new tenant move in, I'm going to give this sign agreement to the tenant, so
Right.
they follow this agreement. But in that case, they will read over here. If they don't remove it, the landlord will remove it.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to
Okay.
say is just I'm trying to say tenant should remove.
right, and I would
Yeah,
not want
at their cost,
them to
but,
say, yeah,
I will promise in front of you.
Yeah.
I will take care of everything if they don't remove it.
we can make it say like needs to be removed. Doesn't matter who removes it, We
Yeah.
can just say a blanket line should be removed within 45 days.
Oh, okay.
That's it.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a good
yeah, I
idea.
like that.
Yes.
You can
Okay.
dictate how you want to see fit off the.
Yeah. Probably I can put in my lease agreement.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean, as it sits, it does state that removal of signs is required upon termination of a tenant's lease and the
Right.
tenant is responsible for all cost. And
So we could
it's
just
just, yeah, maybe.
add to that, it must be removed
time.
within 45 days.
So-
And then you don't have to say, I'll do it if you don't.
Right, yeah, right.
I'll second that motion.
Did you get
Who
that?
made the motion? Alex?
Well,
Well, you can, I tried to sum it up because she wasn't sure, but I'll make the motion to approve as submitted with adding that signs are required upon termination within 45 days, to be removed within termination of 45 days of tenant's lease term. And then all holes should be filled,
yeah,
patched,
the
and,
same as,
finished to match existing face.
Okay. Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Ms. Wales?
yes,
All right.
Thank you very
thank
much.
you.
Not quite as bad as the dentist, but close.
Thank you. May I introduce my wife? Actually, my partner.
Okay. Hello.
I'm glad you're here.
Nice to meet you. All right. Y'all have a good evening. Okay. On to our next case now, case number 3, which is 24-03-18. It's at 9802 Chamberlain Road, and it's a new single-family residence.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Oh. So if you can state your name and then go through,
My
What you
name
doing?
is Jim Kaur Singh Hans, and I would like to build a house on Chamberlain Road. We have 5 lots, so we're gonna start with 1.
Are you the developer?
Yes, sir, here and there.
all right. So can you go through kind of what your materials are for the house?
Yes.
And colors and stuff?
This is my roof colors. Gonna be charcoal, black, dimensional 30, 40 years shingles.
Okay.
And my siding gonna be aspen white,
Okay,
that's like 4-inch. And the stone gonna be aspen, this one. And we're gonna have a black garage door and black shutters on the windows.
okay.
There used to be a house at that property that was demolished, right?
Yes.
Right. That was a real old one that was saving.
Yeah, there was across the street that was remodeled too, I believe.
I did that one, then we have 11 acres. Once we have that front build up, then we think what next one. I want to get you up first.
Yeah, let's see, I think one of the things I noticed, and this was something that we like to see, is on the, your left side elevation, where, on the front, you have the stone going across the front, but then it just ends there. We usually like to see that stone turn.
3 feet returns.
Yeah, turn and go up to the edge of the man door. Stop it where you put, just so that it doesn't look like a
Yeah.
blank edge. It'll make it look a little bit better turning.
Yeah, we can do that, no problem.
Okay. And and this is just a curious question, are there any plans to, to finish out the basement, make
Not
any
at
kind of
this
living space down there?
Basement
Okay.
will be unfinished.
Okay. I was just asking that because I noticed all the windows are just regular windows. There's no egress
Yeah.
or escape windows down there. Okay. Anybody got any other thoughts?
It's kind of like a standard issue new house. Lot's certainly big enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. think it's going to be a nice-looking house, nice-looking elevations.
3 bedroom?
4 bedrooms. Master on first floor, 3 on second floor.
Yeah, there's one downstairs and 3 upstairs.
3 upstairs. So we got 1 bathtub.
All the trim will be painted white,
Yes.
I'm guessing to match siding.
Yeah. White gutters, white downspouts. Gutters and downspouts gonna be white also.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, what color are the shutters going to be?
Black.
Black shutters? Okay. Did he say that? I must have missed that part. All right. Okay.
Move to approve as submitted.
I will second.
Ms. Wales?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes. Okay. So, thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you, guys.
So the plan is to build the other lots as well eventually?
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna start one, then start the second one maybe in July. I'm just gonna test the market. If first floor bedroom will go quicker or 2-story.
Market's in your favor, so.
Yeah, so we see.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
All right, thank you. Okay, next case is case 24-03-19. It's at 1962 Edgewood Drive, and it's a Golden Residence Edition. If you could come up, state your name and,
Hi, I'm Braden Kramer, Kramer Custom Remodels.
Okay.
okay?
This is my business I've had for over 10 years now.
All right. So if you could kind of give us a quick rundown of the
So the rundown of why we're here
existing
tonight
and expansion.
is because of the percentage of it being over the amount of the 850 to 890 square foot that her house is.
Right.
It does come off the back of the house 16 foot, not encroaching the neighbor's yard, still having 74 feet left. We also have a garage that's going in the same spot the garage is. The garage is actually tilting right now, so that's what the main thing that drove her, Cheryl, right here to take the step to make the addition, and she wanted to build onto her home as well. So the garage presently right now is 13.8 off of the side of the house. We're bringing it to 12. Technically still at 8 foot off of the property line of the right side neighbor, but obviously taking it in 1 foot and still leaving enough of room for 2 foot coming into her garage for somebody to get out on both sides of the car, of the 1-car garage. So we obviously can't pull that back in to the 10 foot required because of where her driveway sits. She has a small mulch bed, which there's a lamp post in that mulch bed right along the side of her house. You got 1 foot of mulch bed, you got the driveway, and then you got a 2 foot of the garage extending over the edge, which allows when you pull in to have
The
both
doors open?
doors open.
Okay.
So actually now we're actually taking it from 13.8 to 12, so we're actually encroaching on the neighbor's yard less, putting 8 inches.
Yeah, okay. All right. I think you had made a statement, but the siding, I'll just clarify, the siding in the roof is all going to match existing.
How many square feet are being added here?
How many total square foot?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't recall at the very moment what I had wrote, what it was.
It says first floor square feet is 416.
So you're saying hers or the new?
It just says on the legend over here on the right side. I don't know if it's existing or.
Give me 1 moment.
That sounds like it might be the garage footage.
Usually there's,
So the addition that's coming off her home is about 336 plus the garage is that new, the 400. So that's the new part of the what's going on. So technically 336 square foot roughly of actual new, and then obviously same clearance of the garage, just tucked in at 1 and 8 inches.
Okay. Now, the existing deck in the back has got to be removed.
Exactly.
This is just an observation which has nothing to do with looks, but I noticed too there's another overhead door on the back side, sort of inside court, which could be used for different things, I'm guessing, but it's looking kind of like that little back area might be an outside area they may want to enjoy at different times, and I don't know if there's plans to put another deck over there or anything.
There's plans to put a deck floating like that she has now, and then she eventually wants to do a stamp patio through that spot. So potentially I could take a concrete buggy for her next year through the garage, out through that, where she'd have her tractor coming out and be able to pour that still.
Okay. Well, I guess what I was kind of leading to is you're showing the AC condenser out there, and it's just as a recommendation, maybe you want to rethink the location, because if she uses that to entertain and sit outside, that condenser cutting off and on is going to drive you crazy, or her crazy. I know it wouldn't me if it was sitting there.
What I can have my
if it's
HVAC
possible.
guy is move it to the back far left-hand side.
Yeah.
So then it's kind of notched into that corner over there where nobody really, it's like the side property.
Yeah. Well, there's one over there on the side. I didn't know if that one's going to be removed and or she can have two systems.
I didn't think it was going to be in the way, and there was going to be a ductless system. So
Okay.
on that side would be potentially where we ran the wires to have both units sitting on that side.
Okay. All right. I mean, this is just, it's not going to change anything. It's just, to me, I just thought rethink where it's located might be worth it.
Exactly. Don't have to have it moved twice.
Okay. And then the other thing is that on the new portion of the right elevation, is there a particular reason why she didn't want any windows in the garage?
It was.
I mean,
it was not necessarily like recalled to why there was not any windows in the garage. We can add one, I'm sure, if it's needed.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, I just think getting little, you could have a little extra light in there, and just it would make that side elevation look a little bit better too, I think, with a window in it.
Sure.
It will break the
another
wall, basically.
Yeah, just a window, just like what's on the rear elevation on each side of the sliding glass door. Same size, same type.
Yes, same size, same type. Both, I believe that they were going to be 2 foot by 4 foot windows.
Okay. All right.
Before the boards, I would like you to know that currently, as drawn up, the 8 foot off the property line for the garage does not meet the current zoning requirements. So you could approve the way it is, and then if it's going to look the same but have to meet the requirements, that way they don't have to come back in front of you again if they have to move it in 2 feet.
Say that one more time.
We won't be able to move it in 2 feet, so we would have to go to the zoning board if that were the case, because the garage, when you drive in from the driveway, it doesn't allow the passenger to get out in the garage at that time. And then
I understand what you're saying, sir. You won't pass with the zoning the way it is right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
they told me that it would, if that were the case, I'd have to go to and I have an application filled out for that, if that were the case, to go on the 28th of next month.
Okay. So what's that, how's that?
That it would move inside 2 feet from the property line.
Yeah.
So as long as they would keep the same look, you guys would approve the look either 2 feet in or as submitted.
Oh, okay.
It comes almost 2 foot in from where it is now, so it encroaches the yard 1 foot 8 inches less. So that's plus.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. Okay. So, meaning no window?
No, you can
No, you can
prove
add
it
a
as there,
window.
just
It
it would be
just-
if they
it's a-
would have to come back, instead of having to come back, they would be approved, no matter what they do with the BZA, or if they are able to do it this way.
Okay,
I'm fine with it.
Me too.
okay.
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Second?
Second.
Thank you.
I don't need to have a
Okay.
stipulation with the
No, because they're here.
See the pictures. The picture wasn't in my packet. The picture for this wasn't in my
One for the existing.
Wales did.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Ms. Wales?
Yes,
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes. All right,
Thank you very much. Have a good
okay.
day.
thank you.
Thank you.
May I ask one more question?
Yeah,
So, would that be full approval, or do I still have to ask zoning if, since you guys approved and asked them if it's okay, or is that,
That's a totally different,
okay.
yeah, they're just for the exterior of the, look there, yep.
All right, thank you very much.
okay.
We're here for the looks.
All right, on to case number 5 tonight, which is case 24-03-20. It's at 10735 Ravenna Road, and it's for the chalk bar signage.
Yes.
Oh,
Good evening. Hello.
you've been here before, so you know the procedure.
We were here before for the exact same location. So this is the old Harmony Social location.
Yeah,
We are here to basically reface. We're going to reface the existing cabinet that was approved previously. So it'll be the rendering that you have there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to add the graphics to the monument sign. There is one change to the monument sign because the landlord actually allowed us to move into a bigger spot in the monument sign. So what was submitted was a smaller version of what we're asking for.
Is this a new owner or just a whole new business?
it's the guy that we just.
Yeah, well, I know.
Oh, okay.
No, the Harmony Social.
It's a whole new.
Okay. Yeah, I just meant for this business.
It's a new business?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Harmony Social's gone out of business and closed.
Is this business open already, or is it going to?
No, it hasn't opened yet.
So on the
There was a-
monument sign, you won't have that martini glass?
No.
Just the print,
Just the
okay,
chunk.
the text.
Yeah, there was a temporary sign I noticed that was up there.
Yeah, the banner was put up, and the permit was approved for the banner to be up.
Okay.
I'm okay with it.
Actually, I like the look of the bigger sign than the smaller one.
It's way better than the Harmony Social sign.
Yeah.
Any,
You did.
No, I've got no problem.
Set it on the record now. It's out there. There's no discussion. I can make a motion to approve
Okay.
as submitted. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Ms. Wales?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
yes?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
have a good night.
I know this is not my case, but I feel like I should at least provide some input to the
Oh,
gentleman.
that's okay.
We put the Mathnasium sign up in that same plaza, and we put the Domino sign in that plaza. And in both cases, we had to request a variance because all of the signs are bigger than what the city allows. So I would tell you to keep that into consideration, because if you go by the standard that the city allows, you end up with like the really, really small subway sign, and then there was a nail place sign that was probably this big. So I think it's,
Okay,
I would at least encourage you to
thank you.
take that into consideration, because we had to go through the same thing to get Mathnasium approved and Domino's approved.
Yeah, okay. All right,
Okay. State Farm?
okay,
Nobody.
we got that one done, right? Yeah. So on to case 6, which is 24-03-21. It's at 9329 Ravenna Road, State Farm signage. Is there anybody here to discuss it?
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it, so,
I'll make a motion to postpone this case till next week,
Their next meeting.
until,
next meeting.
I'll second.
colors are awful. It doesn't match.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Ms. Wales?
Yes.
I guess we won't discuss anything on this.
Yeah, we
State Farm.
Is that,
discuss it after this case.
yeah.
Or can, yeah, okay.
Okay.
So,
So back to you guys.
As we can look at it and approve.
before what I was trying to submit it, as you asked for it, I have a few different times which were already denied by the city.
Okay.
So we had that first, then we got this one. It was long, so then we changed it to this one. Each time we got cancel it, then we change it to this one. Then we change our logo and the sign. Then we change it to this one. Then we decide this one, but they told me that bigger than the size that wrote on the paper. So at the end, we come up with this and the simple one. So, and also we cut that down too because it was so long before. Now we cut it down, and that's the only one we have.
Maybe show these guys a little bit of what you just showed me.
Sure.
Let me move over so you don't have to do it twice.
Okay. So before we submitted this one to the city.
Oh, okay.
We got canceled. Then we tried this one. They did decline it, and they think its logo were too big. Then somehow, after a few times, they did not like the logo, so we changed it and changed it to this type of it. And after that, we tried this different color. Got ignored again. Then same thing with that, and it was too big. After that, we decided to like cut it and make it smaller and just a simple one.
Okay.
That's what we come up with final one.
So that's, it's been rejected several times based on being bigger than this.
Yeah.
And
if I
we're
see-
still thinking
if I
it's
see the other
big.
signs, it's already bigger than what I have.
Yeah.
I applied for it.
Okay.
What are you guys thinking? Like, any have any suggestions for these guys for the round 2? I would hate to have them come back for round 3 or something else, you know?
Yeah.
To me, the smoke outlet is perfectly fine. I'm good with it.
Yeah.
It's the other side is just, I'd rather see an empty wall than, you know, something else on it.
So can I do one thing? Can I put the smoke outlet on top and the letters on the bottom?
So you're talking about that being there.
No, that moving on the middle and that letters go on the bottom of that. Is that okay or no?
Will it fit?
There is a recognition, like they have a thing, but they also say on the.
Matt, you probably have to make,
After this meeting, I'll go drive up there. If Mathnasium looks okay, I think I'll be fine with that. So you're talking about like centering this a little bit toward this way and moving this down.
On the bottom, yeah. And
Well,
right now, so basically, I was
Oh,
checking.
you have a picture of that?
Yeah,
Majority vote.
that's like right next to it.
Okay with it.
Let's see.
will the owner let you move the sign over? Because I thought you said they wanted it centered on that.
I really want to keep it the way I submitted, but like, if it's not going that way, then I'm ready to change it. Because I've been trying for a long time, I just want to like
Get it done.
Yeah.
move forward.
It's submitted this way.
Well,
We submitted the same,
if,
because we already said no to this one, they can't submit the same sign again.
No, they can resubmit as.
Well, what I was gonna say, today, it's only 3 board, but maybe next time you have a 5 and,
You
you
can
know.
resubmit when there's 5.
But there's 5, and if out of 5, you only need 3 people to say yes. So if you're really.
that also
adamant about
delays you 2 more
submit
weeks.
it, and we take vote in 2 weeks. So,
Yeah. Now, if you did move all the sign over, the building from the street would look lopsided, but people walking up to your door would know which door to go in.
Right, so
I think
you see
people,
the whole sign?
customers will figure it out pretty quick which
You
door to
think?
go in.
Well, okay, okay.
You know, they're not going to be like,
That's how it was, and this thing was empty because we locked the door. But now it's open, that's why we.
it's pretty nice, I mean, something like that would be nice. It's just like
This is just
their frontage, like this,
Right now, that
the
door
crown over here, it's like looking aside.
used to be empty, but we.
Technically, that's their entrance, the sign should go here.
Yeah, technically, we should.
I mean, personally,
And
I
what was
feel
there
like that's where
before?
the sign should
It was
go.
Twinsburg High.
Get that, it's gonna be empty.
Oh,
Because
okay,
if
yes.
it's centered between the two,
One more
it's gonna,
question.
I don't like any,
Just to confirm 110%, these are your main doors, right?
It's an old strip.
Personally, you know, if anything, the sign should go right above the shop, you know.
I did.
get it, the crowning is
Right.
here, it kind of makes it the empty wall, but as soon as you enter, you're gonna realize like, oh wow, it's big. So that's my only thing, but yeah, it would be fine if you tuck it in a little, so, you know, kind of like a magnesium sign, yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't
If you
know-
really want, you can
I
submit
don't
like 2
know
or 3 different
like,
designs
do
of
we,
same
as a
sign,
city,
just different
accept
variations of
rules?
it. And when we go for a vote, we
Have
can
to
say, okay, I like the
city
section,
rules.
option B better, so we can take it into consideration.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, even he put it like this.
Yeah, something like, yeah. You can also submit the same sign too, so we can say,
Yeah.
hey, I prefer A, then you have 2 other options.
So, did you say, was this the one that they've met with zoning and it was approved there? Was that another case?
Yeah, that was not this.
Okay.
No.
We've had several tonight. So
Yeah,
where
this
are we
one
right
was-
now?
Well, we're
Resubmit with a
Okay.
couple different designs.
we're still in the same where it's been
Okay.
turned down.
Okay.
So it's either, yeah, come back and resubmit.
So when it's like out of 5, you guys are 3, more votes don't count.
It was- Well, we've never had fewer than 4 in the time I've been here. This is the first
Usually you
time.
have at least the 4. This is like what? This is have happened in like years.
Maybe my luck.
It-
Because, I've been running a lot from
Yeah.
the side.
I'm the one
Yeah,
who usually.
well, I'm sorry all
says
that's
yes.
having to go on,
I'm the one
but
who usually- It just doesn't come to me naturally, that's all. I'm the yes always guy,
Not always.
but that's not today.
That's right.
yeah, every now and then something
Sorry
hits.
about that.
All right,
Thank you guys.
all right, take care.
Were you saying something, David, earlier about the same sign? About the placement, the way the crown is on the building? You were,
No.
I know you were kind of mentioning something.
Well, I was saying, because he's got multiple units, if you kept smoke outlet on one side, and then he got another sign over here that said smoke outlet also, with the 4 words underneath it, it sounds to me like your concern is that it doesn't have the name of the company on the sign, where all the other signs have the name of the company.
It just looks very tacky to me. It's something like you would see like driving through
It is
some
technical.
neighboring towns.
Right.
I'd like,
Oh, I-
we are on, we're being recorded, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I understand what you're saying. It just sounded to me like you were saying that all the other locations have the name of the company, and that one did not, is
I
what
got
I
a few more things to add. Let's knock
let's
out all
not-
the agenda items so that we can discuss that. I have
Yeah,
2
and
minutes.
I also think it's a good idea if you go drive by it, like you said, and then he's going to come back in 2 weeks anyway, so this all might be moot anyways if he's coming back in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right, on to approval of the minutes from February 15th. I'm happy with them, they look fine.
I'll second the motion to approve as
So I
submitted.
guess I made it in a motion.
I thought you were making it.
I can, yeah. I'll usually wait for comments before I
I'll
do
make
it,
the
but yeah.
motion to force David into making the motion, and then I'll second that motion.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Ms. Wales?
Yes.
Okay.
Now on to our fun task we had to review the zoning code and ordinances that are being proposed. I'm guessing from comments y'all made, y'all have reviewed them and looked at them. I don't know about our other two folks, but
Is there anything, I don't have any question. I mean, it was just a little bit too complicated, and I quite didn't 110% understood every single thing, if I'm gonna be honest.
I
That's
didn't
fine.
understand a lot of it. I did have a question on a definition on page 34.
well,
Okay.
I don't have a
I
copy
got
of
a
it.
copy, David.
I thought about printing it out, but
Yeah, you can use my copy.
I can probably remember it partly, but
In, under the PF zone, maximum sign surface, 1.5 square foot per lineal building elevation, width of applicable elevation. I had no idea what that meant.
Just, you not want this on the mic, because I would say the mic won't hear you.
Thanks, Dave.
Yeah.
And,
okay,
sorry.
what that's basically saying is it's similar to what they just went through in the sign program. But what they're saying is that the signage is usually set in square feet of how large of a sign you can put on
Right.
there. And it's usually done by the linear frontage of the space. Sometimes it's done by, if a building's on the corner, then they have
Okay.
two fronts that they can do it with. So you take, the number of linear feet times the 1.5.
Okay.
That gives you a rectangular area or square footage area for maximum signage.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Okay. I had several comments. Most of them are, I'll give everybody a copy of this because I do everything real formal. And it's nothing real.
Thank you.
I got enough for.
Okay.
Man, look at tape coming.
This is kind of why I was hoping Rebecca was going to
Tape coming prepared.
give this to her and then she could.
Do you want me to put this in her mailbox? Put a copy in her mailbox in the office back there?
Yeah.
I can do that. Or they could do it too.
Or she can call me and it should be self-explanatory, I hope. The only thing you have to do is kind of ignore where it says error, reference source not found. That's somehow when I was copying that off of the Word document, it lost the link to the section
Oh,
that
okay.
it's referring to. It was pretty simple stuff. I mean, in a way, let me see, where's my comments on it? But on page 11, the bottom of the page, item E, where it's on about sign permit required, it's just a spelling error that I picked up.
Okay.
At least I think, because to me it said no sign shall be installed, construction, erected, altered. And the highlighted area in there, they use construction, which didn't sound right, but
So, yeah.
that might be terminology in the code that may not mean anything. As I said, some of these things are not much. On page 12, item F1, where it talks about addresses on signs, and if you saw the whole section, it might be a little bit clearer, but it basically is saying, at least I thought it was saying, that addresses on monument signs are not required. And we've always required an address on a monument sign or asked for it, to have the address on there. And I just wanted to clarify whether that's what that meant or not.
If it's a single one, like the multi-tenant ones, you can't, there's not a whole lot of space.
Yeah. Well, if the center has a single address, it would be on there.
Yeah.
But if each space has their own,
But most of them are
Street
like
address.
Suite 305, 306.
Yeah.
And those wouldn't need to be on the monument sign, I don't think.
We don't get that many of those here.
and I don't know if that applies to that or not. That's more of a question.
So you're talking about almost like this all-state sign that was submitted, basically.
Yeah. With the 9329 on it, yeah.
That's good, that's good.
Yeah. And I just wasn't sure if it was saying they didn't need to be there on those signs or not. My next question was on, and this kind of clarifies itself maybe a little bit further down, but on page 16, the feather sign. Feather signs I'm not real fond of, but anyway, I thought they were allowing feather signs, but it didn't have anything in that section about how long they could remain in place, and I was just
I thought
questioning.
it said the same as temporary signs.
Well, that's what I wanted to make sure it was doing. That's why I said being a temporary sign type, just to make sure that's what it was.
Should we address these questions perhaps in the next meeting we have with the zoning board,
Well, I don't know if they're going to be here or not. I'll just run through them to document them real quick, and then, a lot of these are more questions that that really should come from Rebecca or somebody, to answer them for us. Page 17, under monument sign, pedestal was misspelled. I think it was pedestral or something like that. S-T-R-A-L, I think they had it spelled.
Did you mean last word or last work in paragraph?
Probably word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should probably be last word. See, I typo too, sometimes.
It's for that. No.
sometimes Word just changes itself. Like you type it right and then autocorrects it too.
Yeah. The next item is page 20. And there's some graphics for the wall sign. They're showing what a wall sign is. And it shows like a big sign on the face of a 3 or 4 story building. And we don't really have too many of those other than the tobacco sign over there or whatever on the historical society building. And most of the wall signs are like signs we were looking at tonight. So was just questioning, should they have graphics that shows the type of wall signs that 99% of what we have here and talk about. On page 21, I just didn't understand that and wanted an explanation where it was talking about the concept of the last sentence being 18 inches or less of separation. In other words, when I was talking about sticker window signs, you'd have to go look at the whole section. It was saying it excluded signs that had 18-inch or less separation between a run of stickers, which I was completely lost on. So that was just wanting to understand what that was. Do you have if you have the full thing there, you can read that section, and if somebody, or I can read.
But I'm not following what you are at all.
On,
Looking at something.
it's on page 21, and it's in the section for window signs.
If you want to read it on the record, you can have it. You can read it too. Because I haven't read it all the way. That's why I kind of took it back.
My page 21 says roof sign and sandwich board sign.
Yeah, the
So
pages are,
the pages are different than what he has for some reason. Maybe when you printed out a different cover page, because we're about 2 pages behind on everyone in here too.
Okay.
So on yours, it would be probably page 23
Thank you.
for the window sign.
for the window sign, yeah.
Yep.
I believe, David, what you're asking about it on the bottom with the 18 inches.
Yeah, where it says a single window sign includes any portions of a message and associated graphics that span across separate panes of glass, with such areas of separation or interruption are not wider than 18 inches.
So I believe that would be like if there's a mullion in between the windows, it can't be more than 18 inches to spell out the same word.
Is that something similar to what the submittal tonight for State Farm?
I did not.
Because their submittal had these red signs in the window. Because I couldn't quite figure that out either. They're showing like this and saying that's what's auto, home, life, health.
Yeah, that would be.
Is going to be all the way
So
across.
I believe they're talking about if this was 18 inches and that was 18 inches and that would be 18 inches.
Okay, not between.
Correct.
Letters that way. Okay. All right. Yeah, that was just to try to clarify, make sure I understood what that was. All right. Sorry, y'all, I'll have to bear through this. And now I have on page 24, which
So I'm
probably
gonna
is
look at
24 on the
26.
banner signs. I'm asking there again, does this apply for feather signs also? But if I remember right, I think something blew the whole thing out of the water, because I saw later, I don't think feather signs are even approved anywhere, right? They can't be used at all.
Can I ask what a feather sign is? What is a feather sign?
It looks like a, kind of tapers up. It's like a, if it's
Oh, I know exactly what it is.
Fabric sign.
Or I know exactly what
Yeah.
it is.
like a four-lease sign on,
Yes, yes, yes. Put it on the ground, just blows the wind.
Which
Yes,
Pet Suites had a whole bunch of them in their front.
Totally know what it is now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that
Got it, got it.
floppy
That's
thing.
different, that's a,
I know, I'm just-
and that's stated not, that they're not allowed either, those moving
Yeah.
signs.
Yes, I totally know what
So,
feather sign
didn't I read that the feather signs are allowed as temporary signs?
Yes.
Okay.
Electronic message center signs,
Temporary signs are only for 30 days in the city also. We just passed that.
Okay.
okay. Yeah, and the next one, since the pages are off, it's on the electronic message center signs, which might be, I don't know which page that was. I had page 24. But where is it? Canopy ground. I can't find it on this development. Monument sign. Anyway, my question basically was what was the reasoning in, I'm not saying it's bad reasoning, but I was just curious of the reasoning why the electronic signs aren't allowed in the downtown area. Because I think it showed on the,
Yeah, I remember reading that, but I,
it just kind of jumped out at me. I was wondering why. But that might be something Rebecca would have to answer too.
I think everything is for, or Lynn, between the two.
Yeah. So, anyway, and I wasn't real sure on the sections, and there were several places where this showed up, but they're talking about a definition of a clear sight triangle. And there's things about signage not being able to be placed in a clear sight triangle, which I kind of have an idea what it might be, but I don't know exactly. Does anybody understand what that is?
speaking like not word for word, but when you could say pull up to like a stop sign, the sign being able to not block your view of the area that you're going to be turning at.
Yeah.
But I don't know the math to do that in there, but yeah, that's
Okay.
the gist that I got from it.
All right. And then what
You're
was...
just looking for clarification of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
just so I understand what
Sure.
falls, how you get that triangle so that,
I'm sure that's defined somewhere, but that's a great question.
yeah. I don't know if we ever get signs that are in that triangle and we approve them in that location because they meet a setback. But
We
they
usually
might-
have them, yeah, we usually review it to make sure it's in the setback before that, but it's
Before it
good
comes to us.
be aware of it, yes.
Okay. In the, yeah, on the prohibited type signs and nuisance signs, it was just on item 6, which I didn't say what item 6 was, so I don't remember what it was.
Item 6 on here is feather signs and pennant signs.
Okay. And, yeah, so those are not, they're just temporary only. Does it say in here somewhere? If I missed it, I'm sorry, but because y'all were
Well, I
saying
mean,
you
if
thought they
they're
were.
prohibited, doesn't that?
No, I think that when I was reading through it, and I can't say that I understood all of it, I thought it was that those can be used only as temporary signs and that they're prohibited as permanent signs. That's what I had thought.
Correct, and the temporary sign has to meet a certain size restriction and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And what, that was, I'm trying to remember, did it have a time limit on how long they could be?
I don't remember.
I don't know off the top of my head what the exact dates are, but I want to say it is close to 30 days.
Yeah. Okay. And then this, I mentioned in the meeting earlier today, but the removal of signs I just wanted to make sure we add on there, it says specifications of removal, and it doesn't state that the surface should be repaired back to like new finish. It just says in order to remove a sign shall include complete and total removal of the sign, enclosing frame and all signs supporting members and base unless otherwise explicitly ordered. And it doesn't say that, you know, like, I guess if it's a monument sign.
If it's a monument, it wouldn't matter, but if it's on a building,
Yeah. Well, a monument sign would matter a little bit. You wouldn't want a hole left in the ground. They'd
Well,
want
that's-
to
yeah.
regrade over it and smooth it out. But so that's just a question about, you know, could that be added in there? And then under Chapter 1124, under administrative applications, which that's in the historical side, I didn't quite understand the 6 square feet in surface area, where that number came from. Is it saying sign permit application for signs that are 6 square feet or less in surface area are reviewed and final decision is made? I didn't know what a 6 foot, less than 6 foot square sign would be for sure, you know, on, so it's just a clarification, where did the 6 feet,
where was that?
6 square feet cutoff come from?
So if a sign is under 6 square feet, it goes to planning and zoning. Anything over 6 comes to ARB.
Correct.
Is that the case now?
Pretty much on most signs, yes. It doesn't need ARB approval for like a political sign. Like 2 foot by 3 foot.
What about that, wasn't this like a big
You're lost, just like the rest of it.
I just don't want to know what you say on the record.
Well, on the record for our meeting, it's just, what I'm doing is just making statements, and we'll get clarification from the, you know, from the city zoning folks, you know, the ones that are running this code, basically.
Yes, they are.
Because that's all they just wanted comments or suggestions or thoughts from us. And there's really nothing, I don't even have anything major. The only big thing I have, if it's even you want to call it a big thing, is just repair the surfaces of sign removals.
I'm going to say what is you.
Yeah.
I don't fully understand every single line in there.
Yeah.
I have the question on
We should probably just
what's
use
page
that.
44 here, administrative bodies, ARB, just section B, item 3, it says notices will be delivered by mail. Can we say email or something like that? I can't.
What page are you talking about?
On mine, I'm on page 44, Title 6, Administration. Section B, number 3. It's minor, but I think that insisting on mailing things,
Well, we
We
don't
have-
always, we don't know the email address for the people, but we have their physical address.
okay, so mail does make sense then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how we'd have record of someone's email that
Yeah.
lives across the street or.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense too, because I don't know if emails are really an official
Yeah.
type of notification, because everybody can say, well, I didn't get my email. Yeah,
Okay,
but I guess is it sent by certified mail or just mail?
it says just mail.
Okay. And then the last two things I had were not
Oh,
anything
I'm sorry, I
big.
thought you were done.
But just that, you know, that all of us get a copy of these sections once it's, if everything gets approved, then the city votes the new zoning change in, that we get get hard copies of it, because I think it'd be good to have a hard copy to refer to.
Definitely.
And I think they have it, but sometimes I still get confused on the, because I don't think it's all set in concrete yet, but on the zoning map,
Yeah.
the graphics of it and the color coding, that it should be pretty easy to read when it's done, that
Yeah, I
it
had a little bit of trouble with some of
stands
those
out.
colors.
So that was it. Anybody else got any more you want to add?
Nope.
That was very well done.
Okay.
Did you have anything on the historical part of the?
Well, I think that was the, I gave it back to you already, didn't I? That was where, I think that was the section where the 6 square feet thing.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that this was all that you wanted us to submit to then.
Yeah.
Okay.
You'll make sure they get it then, or?
Say again?
You'll make sure they get it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
That's the one section I did understood it.
All right, so next up is excuse absent members. We'll make a motion.
Question again, because this is something I've not done. Nobody knew he was not going to be here, correct?
Correct. We knew Mr. Midlick was not going to be here, but we did.
So I don't think you need to excuse him, because if he didn't let anyone know, it's excused if you let someone know that, right?
I think it's excusing absent members.
Okay.
I believe so. That's how it's written on our.
Yeah.
Excusing.
That's how it's on our agenda.
So from what I understand, that one of the concerns that we've had in council is attendance at meetings. We've had a lot of commissions that are just Parks and Rec, they've had to cancel because they can't get a quorum, or people just not showing up, okay? And one of the things we're looking at now this year is attendance more than ever, because so many people are they're just missing meetings.
Yeah.
So I guess, what is the definition of excuse? Excuse is, hey guys, I need to let you know I can't, like we have council on Tuesday, there's going to be 2 people out, but they just didn't not show up. We know that they're going out of town with their families because of spring break. Twinsburg schools are on break, so it's excused because we know that they're excused. It's like calling in for school or calling in work. If you just don't call into work, it wouldn't be an excused absence. You understand? So I'm not sure if necessarily. So do you understand where I'm going with this?
Yeah, no, I understand. Yeah.
This is not necessarily an excused absence. This is technically an unexcused absence. You're supposed to be here, and you don't have a valid reason. You didn't call, you didn't show. This is not technically an excused absence.
Does the city have any rules on that?
I'm not aware of that.
So I asked about that one time when I wasn't aware at council. I mean, if you guys want to excuse them, this is your meeting. I'm just
Yeah.
food for
Well-
thought. This is your meeting. This is I'm just here.
Questions are good.
But I asked that at council when I was just got on council, and there was someone who was absent. I said, "Why are we excusing someone? What's the reason for this?" And they said, "Well, because you don't want to show that it's bad against them. Like if they, if someone passes away or this or that, it's a valid reason that they're not going to be there. You excuse them. Like it's like almost like it doesn't count against them. But if someone doesn't show up or just doesn't do their job, well, they're not really excused from the meeting. They're supposed to be here. So."
Can we have a section like option A, excuse absent members, and then, the other one will say unexcused members?
Well, I think
maybe
you I just think you wouldn't excuse him.
Acknowledge absent members.
I think you would only excuse, again, so this is your meeting, so you guys can excuse whoever you want.
Yeah.
I guess I'm giving you food for thought, that,
all I can go on is from past for
yeah,
all the
do
years.
what this is your meeting, I'm just giving food for conversation.
All the other boards handling this thing.
So I'm not the council rep for the other boards, so I'm not there, but I know that this is one of the things we talked about was, about excusing members, not excusing members, taking attendance, and I know that Shannon's listening now, so,
Maybe something council can decide with the help from mayor,
I think that's a great idea. So I will have this conversation with council first. So if you guys want to go ahead and excuse them, that's great. And then, we'll have more information for you. So I will find that out.
Just a proper policy
Or
procedure.
what
I
past,
know,
there might be, for all I know, or maybe what past precedence is. I guess that's something to find out also. Maybe that's something for me. I guess I'm talking as a learning experience right now, because this is kind of new for me also. I've never been at a meeting where someone's just not shown up. So what is the proper protocol? Have you ever been to a ARB meeting where someone's not shown up?
Yes.
And so it was always just excuse the member.
That's what
That's the
we've done.
precedent.
See, and I think that's something that council wants to start changing, because if you apply for a job to do a job, you should show up for your job, you know? To your point is, if we had 4 members here, would 3 of the 4 passed it for that gentleman? Or would you-
Yes.
Exactly. So if he would have showed up, this gentleman might have not had to take a discussion, not had to come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right? And so it's a waste of his time, or, you know what I mean? And you have every right to vote no, but if he was here, maybe it would have gone a different way, you know? So I'm just talking out loud from my own thought process. But yeah, go ahead and excuse me, that's great. And I will, I will find out more what council wants to do with something like
As
that.
long as it's unified across other.
Agree 100%.
So we're all like doing something else out of the sink, and then.
No, I agree
It
100%.
would be good to
and
have
one
something
thing-
across the different boards.
Yeah.
And that might be there, and I'll find out from my knowledge too, because I've never had this experience. Someone else might have done this, but I don't think in future boards should be excusing people who aren't excused.
Most of us are pretty good at letting somebody know in advance.
Right.
Hey, I'm not coming, or I'm sick, or something. You know, most of us. It's,
Right.
You know.
And I'm not saying like there's a demerit for this, or or like, oh my God, shame on you, or like 50 lashes with the wet noodle, and like I just think that it helps us when it comes time to, like, next week we have interviews. Well, someone's applying for their position, and we have an attendance that says, well, you had 4 out of your 8 were unexcused. Why would we have you come back?
Yeah.
And so that's where we've had issues in the past, where we've had situations where, like, we don't want to assume because you're on, people who are on doing a good job and you want to stay on as long as you want. But if you're just not coming to a meeting, you know what I'm saying? That's all.
And that's
So,
something the city would want to have some umbrella.
more universal, I guess. And I'll find out about that. So, and I guess Shannon listens to all these things, so I'm assuming Shannon will probably just give me a call at some point and let me know if there was that policy already. And
So that would mean
Shannon.
we'd end up with 2 things to vote for eventually. One, excused absence, and then unexcused absence.
That's okay.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, I think right now we'll stay
I
like we've
think you
been
should
doing.
excuse them. That's great.
And then
Absolutely.
once
But
if y'all come to us and say this is
but
how
it should be
we wanna-
universal. I agree 100%.
Yeah, then we'll fall in line.
Yeah, and it's not like there's
Okay.
like trouble.
Because a few years ago when Bill sat in your chair and this board was doing a lot of things that was not with other boards, and there was a lot of things, changes were made here.
To
David
be
was
in
here for
line with
that.
what other boards were
With
doing.
Jennifer, we went through a lot. So now at this point, I feel like we're like a well-oiled machine with David here.
Oh, 100%. I think this is.
We keep going and just refining the process even better. If we can get even better at that.
Yeah, and it would be good to make it universal.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is good conversation. So
Uniformity is the key.
yeah, so no, I've heard. This is great.
And absent members get their hands slapped anyway. They don't get their pay for the night.
Yeah, and again, I'm not saying there's trouble. I'm just saying.
I know.
I just think.
But no, I understand what you're saying, especially when you brought up, if, like tonight with just 3 here, we could have saved time, could have saved whatever if.
Potentially.
Yeah,
it would have
potentially.
saved. It would have saved him coming back
And,
or delaying his time for the sign. So.
And if somebody makes a habit of being absent a lot, that's kind of why I got off the board myself, because I realized I was traveling so much and I started missing meetings, and I said I'm going to step down from the board at that time because I'm not making enough meetings. I didn't feel like I was falling in line good enough.
Yeah, so it's a good conversation though. But I will find that out and I will report back to you guys at the next meeting.
All right.
But, I'll bring it up at council this week.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great, thanks. I'll call the law director tomorrow, maybe. All right, thank you.
All right. So do we have you made a motion, right?
I think I started it.
Okay.
The absent members.
We got a motion to excuse. We have a second. I'll second.
Ms. Wales?
Yes.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'll throw in to make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second it.
Mr. Markovitz?
Yes.
Mr. Sharma?
Yes.
Ms. Wales?
Yes.